Hi YouTube, please give me a moment while I connect to Facebook. We'll be getting started shortly. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm having a little issue. Okay. And now it's fixed. All right. We are connecting to Facebook right now. And we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody, welcome to the Strategic Swing Trader weekly broadcast. I hope you're doing well. I hope your weekend's going very well, and let's get started. We're going to talk about the market. We're going to talk about the swing ideas that I have for the week. But before we start, as always, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss is for educational purposes only. If you're new to our channel, please be sure to download the free ebook. Link for that is in the description. If you find benefit in today's video, be sure to hit the like button. If you have any questions, leave a comment or email us, info@t3live.com. And here we go. We're switching to the charts here. So we're going to talk about the market first, and then I'll go over the ideas that I have for tomorrow. As you can see, the market is bullish. We did for a minute look like we were going to have a breakout failure, with this being the breakout, right? And then this would be the failure, but it looks like we're doing okay now. We recovered back up above the moving averages, and the hourly chart, the hourly chart, it looks good too. That's the NASDAQ, the QQQ. The SPY, looking pretty good too. A bit choppy. It's not like a, nice clean rally, but and the IWM is back to the prior high. Not quite the prior high, but almost. We could attempt to, come in a little bit, retest, and then do a W pattern, and then go higher. But I don't know that that's gonna happen. And for now, the bias is bullish. I'm just gonna put it that way. The bias should be bullish because we're in an uptrend and on a pullback. The Bitcoin, I think, is pulling back. Let me just double check right now. Yeah, it's taken out the prior high, prior low. Let me just show you. I wasn't quite ready, I guess, to start the video when I started it, but it is what it is. Here we go, just lining up the chart. So as you can see, Bitcoin is starting the pullback. We don't have a ton of room to fall. So maybe at the most, I would say to like 90,000, maybe 88 at the most. But we have support below, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, Bitcoin is starting to look a little bit like it's going to start the pullback. In terms of the swing ideas, here's what I got for you. ARK, I predicted it, right? We have two positions in the ARK from early October, 46. And then we added to it at 48. And it's looking good. What's the pattern? It's that transition A on the monthly chart. Reason why I'm bringing it up again, even though it's really late, is because it has another entry here, long, and then I'd give it to 52, so as to not get shaken out if your intention is to play it long term. If you're only playing it swing, one can put the stop right here. You don't need to give it that much room. But ARK looks higher. Again, it'd be better if you got it over here at 46, 47, 48. Not at 56, but still looks good. A CATX climactic daily, not a perfect hourly chart. That's the only time frame that I don't love. I'm actually hoping it comes in a little bit and then pops. Then it would be really good over the double top. Then it would be really good. But this is a climactic move, so I like it higher. The charter looks good to me as a longer term play. The monthly starting to curl. So the entry for this would be over 392, I think. Stop right here as a daily buy setup, but really I'm playing the monthly pattern. The CKPT is not quite ready, but if you look at the weekly and the monthly, this is looking good. So I'm hoping it doesn't go just yet, because I'm not actually going to play it if it pops tomorrow. I'm hoping it bases a bit more, because it has a really nice weekly. That's the weekly, and I showed you the monthly. So I'm hoping this bases for a couple more days at least. The COMP is an hourly base breakout. It looks good over the base, It's just the only issue is that it's not like we're, you know, playing it above the base would be above everything. No, you'd still have resistance right here. So that's my only issue with it, but it looks nice. Another one that looks similar to the CMP is the DLO, is an hourly base breakout. Between the two, I like the CMP more. But this is also an hourly base breakout over the base, stop under it. The GSAT is the daily buy setup, triggered on Friday already, but it's not too late. Over about 185, stop under 160, okay, on the GSAT. So not too bad. HBAN is a daily breakout or a weekly 1, 2, 3, 4. So igniting bar, a couple of narrow range bars. We got into Planet Fitness, PLNT, on last week, sometime last week. It's the same pattern as HBAN. HBAN is a bank, so it's probably not as hot, not as, doesn't have as much momentum as the Planet Fitness, but the same pattern. In this case, we have a 1, 2, 3 because we have the igniting bar, the narrow range bar, and then the trigger bar. In this case, in the case of the HBAN, we have the igniting bar, a couple of narrow range bars, and then if sometime this week we take out the highs, then that would be the trigger bar. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern. So I like it. IHRT is looking good on the weekly, looking better maybe on the monthly. Not really, but it looks better on the weekly. And then on the daily, right here long, stop right here under the double bottom, under this bar's low, under that bar's low. So this is more of a longer term play, I think, on the IHRT. The daily watch list for this week is not as good as it as it usually is. It's just those are the ideas that I was able to find. I talked about the LYFT a lot in the last few weeks because it was doing that monthly buy setup. I talked about the Disney because I said that's the same exact pattern. I like the Disney more. Both reached target already. Target on the Disney was 115. It's already above it. And then target on the LYFT was, I don't know, 18 or 20, 18 I think. And so it already reached target and it was exited. But here's another entry. Right here, stop right there. Okay, much better to play it when it's before it actually jumps, right? But if you didn't get it, or if you got it and got out like I did, there's another entry right here, stop right there. Okay, on the LYFT, the MSTZ along with the SMST, I played both long on Thursday, netted over 23 or 24,000. So that was like one of my best trades this month. I shorted the MSTR and then basically covered when it got to when the MSTR sold off hard into the 200 MA on the 15-minute chart. There is where I covered it. It dropped a little bit more, but I covered it right about there. And the reason why this was an amazing trade is because I only took one shot at it. You know, oftentimes when you're trying to catch the top, you know, you get it and it doesn't work. You try it again and maybe it works the second time or the third time or the fourth time, but not on the first try. So I was able to get the MSTZ, and I was live on the mic at the open on Thursday. I was able to get the MSTZ 30,000 shares and then the SMST 4,000, but I added another 1,000, so I ended up with 5,000 shares. And I was able to get out not exactly at the top, but somewhere in that last bar, in that last green bar. So that was an amazing trade. I think that the MSTR might not be quite done coming in. So here's another idea. You can play the SMST or the MSTZ. I have the MSTZ on the list, but either works. So long over that green bar's high, stop under the lows, or stop under that little red bar's low and target the 20 on the daily. Okay? So that's the idea. Whether you want to do MSTZ or SMST, doesn't really matter. They're both 2-to-1 leveraged MSTR, inverse MSTR, 2-to-1. Okay, so I like them both. The PENN, I've been watching it for a while because I noticed all the casino stocks broke out except for this one, and it hasn't recovered from that drop after the pandemic. It went from $3 to 130, I think, during the pandemic, from like 375 to 140, 142, back down to 20. And I think it's probably starting to look, I mean, it's not above the 20 on the monthly, so I don't know if it's going to work. The weekly it is, and we have a daily buy setup. So I like it higher. It triggered already on Friday, and I do have 1,000 shares of it. But if you're not in already over 2067, or better yet, over 2084, stop under 1947 as a longer term play on the PENN. I like it. Starbucks, I would already be in it if it wasn't for the size of the stop. I tried to figure out if I can get the Starbucks with a tight stop, and I just couldn't. I can't. So it doesn't have a very tight stop. That's the issue with Starbucks. Otherwise, Starbucks gapped up and never came in, stayed bullish. In fact, it's been kind of grinding up a little bit. So Starbucks looks really, really good to me. The SUM was a buy setup, popped, and then put in a narrow range bar. So if you look at the hourly chart, it looks good to me over here. Stop right here, okay, on the SUM. The UPST, I'm upset I didn't do it on the, it is UPST, upset, right? I'm upset I didn't do it on earnings because that popped 45%. It has that favorite chart pattern of all time, right? The monthly transition A, but it would have been nice to buy it here below 50. It's at 74. So here's an idea for you. If you missed out on it like I did, over the highs, stop right here, okay? And unlikely to stop, but it would be about a $14 stop. Big stop on the UPST. PayPal, I've liked the, what do you call them? The payment processing, whatever, companies in the online payment companies, the PayPal, the Affirm, which we have 2 positions in, the Square, which I'm watching for an entry. They look really good on the monthly, right? Look at the Square, look at the Affirm, amazing monthly charts. And PayPal is not as amazing, but this isn't bad at all. So I have 300 shares of PayPal, just as a disclaimer, but I don't mind it here long with a stop right here. Or if you absolutely want to hold it long term and not get shaken out, right here. But then it's a really big stop, in which case you can't probably put on too much size. That's the issue, is the bigger the stop, the smaller the share size. That's the biggest problem. And then the lower the R to R, the reward to risk. The bigger the stop, the smaller the reward to risk, okay? The shorts, I got BYON, which is already an open position, but it's not too late and it looks lower. Okay, that looks good. The IONS, IONS, I think needs to base a little bit because it's a pretty big stop. But look at the weekly chart on this one. Looks good, 1, 2, 3. So under that bar's low, stop above it. Again, it's a pretty big stop, so I would want to see it base a little bit more. The PYXS has a beautiful hourly chart. Extended a little bit, not off the 20, but short. Look at the tight stop. This would be more of a day trade, to tell you the truth. Stop right here. If you want it to be a swing trade, stop right here. Okay? So as a day trade, tight stop. As a swing trade, really big stop. So it's up to you. The RKLB might be getting climactic. I played the RKLB way back here, and I did really well on it, and I got out at 10. It's already at 23. So amazing, amazing. Short under this bar's low, stop above it. This is a climactic sell setup basically, under 22.38 by 23.81. SBLK is pretty weak, is like a 1, 2, 3 on the daily chart. Short under 18.50 by 19.02. Don't love it. The SKYT and the TAL is a sell setup. So short under 8.35, stop over 8.77. And then the TAL looks better but bigger stop. Short under 9.60, stop over 10.34. I did the AMD not last week but the week before. It's the same exact pattern, sell setup, right? A counter rally to the decline 20 and then a sell setup. This already got to target. Kind of wish I held for more because it dropped below target, but I covered it when it got to the prior low. So, and those two are the same exact pattern. This is a counter rally and a sell setup on the SKYT and the TAL. All right, well, this is my watch list, and I'm happy to share it with you. This week's watch list isn't as good as usual, so take it easy. And it's also a holiday week. Happy holidays, and I will talk to you on the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.